Michael Stürzenberger.
Yeah.
You're a
Hello,
local
Katie.
journalist.
Yeah,
And you're hugely active in helping people to wake up. That's how I would describe you.
That's a perfect description, yeah.
Yeah. And how would you describe what you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis? What's your motivation? What's your aim?
My aim is to inform the people about Islam. I'm writing articles for internet blog, Politically Incorrect. I'm making videos as well, like you. I'm interviewing people, and we make public rallies to inform the people, because not many people know exactly about Islam. It's a really big danger, but all the mainstream media, all the mainstream politicians say, oh, Islam is a religion of peace, only extremists abuse this peaceful religion, and this is not true.
And the reason I heard your name through friends, the reason other people may know you, people may know your name, Michael Stürzenberger, they may have read about you. What was the big thing? Why is it that your name is kind of known? Because you were punished for posting a photo, correct? If you let people know about that whole saga.
Yeah, that was a really big scandal last year. I made an article about the Nazi Islam alliance in the Hitler area, and I posted a picture, a historical picture of a Nazi, and he had
his
swastika,
Nazi armband,
the swastika, and he was shaking hands with the Gross Mufti of Jerusalem, Amin al-Husseini.
the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem. And this is a picture, it's a historic, anyone can go and Google it now. I Googled it before.
Yeah.
Did you change the picture?
No.
Did you doctor the picture? Did you do anything to the picture to make it something that you changed?
I used the original picture, and I set it on Facebook. And I made some sentences. This is the Nazi Islam Pact, and that Islam is a fascist ideology, made Hamid Abdel Samad with his book Islamic Fascism clear. And then I set the link on the article of PI News, where I made a long article with a lot of photos, a lot of information. So the accuse was that I posted it on Facebook. And the judge said...
The charge.
And the judge said, there was a female judge, she said, it's not an article, a journalistic article, it's not an article about historic event, it's just blaming Islam.
So you posted it up there on Facebook. It was a photo that is out there available for everybody.
Yeah.
And it went to court. You were taken to court, and the judge said it wasn't journalistic, it was kind of hate speech, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the judge said it's if you say Islam is a fascist ideology, it's hate speech, it's blaming a world religion, and the second was using of this swastika is forbidden. Yeah,
even though it was on the picture.
Yeah, and I said, look, I'm a journalist, and journalists are allowed to use historical pictures if they writing articles about historical events. But this judge, she was, like a furor. She said, no, you're blaming Islam, and now you're sentenced 6 months to prison, 3 years on probation. So she wanted that I stop my work informing people. I should be silent for 3 years. So this is against freedom of speech, against information about the danger of Islam. And this trial, it was, it went around the world.
Oh, so that's why people will know you, because you're the guy who got sentenced to 6 months in prison for posting a historical picture on Facebook. What happened next? You didn't go to prison?
No. We made a second trial. Yes, of course. We
appealed.
We appealed. Yeah, and it was just 3 months later. There was the next trial. And it's very unusual that it's going so quick.
Yes.
Normally it takes 1 year.
Yes.
But they realized, there was a big protest. We had television reports in Poland at the best broadcasts, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. There was an international protest. We had in Washington a conference where somebody of the German embassy was there and heard it. And
It became international, an
it
international
became international issue. Yeah. So in the second trial, they set me free with everything. Yeah, and the state prosecutor, they didn't go to revision. Normally, over the years, I had a lot of experience with trials. They try, as long as they can to punish me.
They do.
And there they made no revision.
And draw it out as long as they can, trial after trial.
As long as they can. But there they made no revision, so they realized, it's now dangerous for us because the public is very upset. Yeah.
So you're a free man.
I'm a free man. I'm still free, but I can tell you, they try again to stop me. There are a lot of Muslims who accuse me for blaming Islam. I have every 2 or 3 months I have to go to criminal police, and they, somebody accused you for this and that. So they try to silence me. Yeah, it's a long fight.
And how do you feel about that? I can see that you're very brave and bold, and you're very effervescent. You're full of life.
Yeah.
But how does it make you feel? Do you ever feel like just going, do you know what? I give up. I give up on trying to help wake German people up. If they don't want to listen, I give up on them. How do you keep your motivation to keep up the fight?
I never will give up. One of my biggest heroes is Gerd Wilders. And he said, as long as I live, as long as I'm breathing, I will fight and I will inform the people about the danger. He's right. The next hero is Tommy Robinson. He is now ready to go to prison for his persuasion, for his work. And we have a lot of other brave activists. Martin Sellner from Austria. Now we have the Alternative for Germany, the party here.
Of course.
And they are rising up. They have wonderful, brilliant speakers in the parliament, in the national parliament. They are doing a lot of work now. So I see a lot of things are going well. We feel
the movement.
We feel the movement. It's going slowly, step by step, but it goes continually up. So we are on a good way.
And how do you feel about this silencing? I can feel it here, this idea that Merkel, the media that Merkel controls, the idea you can't speak out, that the German security forces or intelligence services are watching you. If you're an AfD supporter, they're watching you. Is that a fair assessment, that this is a state that is closely under surveillance, that you are being watched?
Yeah, they try to fight against this freedom of speech. They try to control you with everything you post on Facebook, on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel since 10 years, and there were 26 million spectators in the time.
People had watched it. 26 million people had watched your
had watched the videos. There are 2,000 videos. We have 28,000 people who watch it regularly. They wiped it out.
Took it away.
Took it away, and I had to fight against with a lawyer, and he was successful. Yeah, and now the channel is again working, but it's always a fight. You always have to go to court. You always have to. You need lawyers to set your
to
rights
help
free,
you. To free you to speak.
We are always blocked on Facebook for 30 days, but I'm always fighting against, and most of the time we get right. But they try.
Now, there's a thing I get asked a lot, because people assume, so I get called far right, no idea why. I'm assuming you get called the same, probably, no idea why. People always think that what happens is we walk about and then people come up to us in the street and hit us or hurt us or want to attack us. That is not my truth. The opposite is true. People come up and say, keep going, go on. How is it for you? How are you able to walk around? If you're such a problem and such a danger and such a threat, how are you able to walk around this nice place with these nice people?
Yeah, this is here an area where it could be there's no problems. It seems there are a lot of people living here safe. Yeah, we have here no refugee problems, no rapings. It's a part of Munich where all the people think, everything is fine. The Green Party is having here a lot of voters, a lot of support. In Munich, generally, it's very left. Yeah, when I'm on the street, sometimes people recognize me, sometimes Muslims. But I have to say, at all my rallies, I say to many Muslims who are there, it's not against you.
No.
It's not against you, the humans. It's against the dangerous elements of Islam. If you are on our side, you are against violence, against killing, against women discrimination. So work with us.
No problem.
So I don't get attacked on the street. Sometimes Muslims come, hey, can we make a selfie? So they are a little bit fans. They don't like me because I'm criticizing Islam, but on the other hand, they feel a certain sympathy. Yeah?
Yes.
So I'm not in the risk of getting
Yes.
attacked. Yeah? At the rallies, sometimes there are Muslims from Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria. They are not. Yeah.
They might prefer to hurt you.
They on the rallies they say, I will kill you. Yeah. Sometimes they spitting at me. Yeah. These are the hardcore Muslims, the fundamentals who come directly out of their culture.
Yes.
It's different to the Muslims who are born here and raised up. They are a little bit more civilized, and generally,
You're safe.
I think I'm safe. I don't feel that I'm risking my life.
And do you feel supported?
Yeah, sometimes
feel
people
that?
come, when I'm on the street. Hey, go on. Yeah, but they don't stay long with me because they fear, or maybe they could be
Someone will see them with
photographed
you.
with me. Yeah, and about the right extremism, we are identified as Islam criticizers. Foes of Islam.
Yes, enemies of Islam.
Enemies of Islam, but not right extremists. I was working at the CSU, the big party here in Bavaria.
Conservative Social Union.
Exactly. And I was a press speaker of the daughter of Franz Josef Strauss, the big hero.
The leader.
The leader, yeah. And they know that I am not right extremist. I'm always warning from National Socialism. I'm writing articles against them because I think they are on the same extremist side like left extremists.
But yes, the left is
Yeah.
it's far more of a fascist kind of
Yeah.
organisation these days. The
Yeah.
far left, I think.
Yeah, far left, yeah. National Socialism is, in my opinion, as well a left extremist movement. Yeah, they are socialists, a little bit different from the International Socialists, the communists, but it has a lot of common
Similarities.
elements.
I wanted to talk to you.
And the Islamic fascism, these are the big totalitarian ideologies. So I'm against every one of them. So I'm not a right extremist. And the leading political party here in Bavaria, CSU, they are saying it officially. I'm not a right extremist. And
No.
so it's
I wanted to ask you specifically. So in the UK, we've been hearing about the mega mosque, and a huge mosque that Angela Merkel approved in Cologne,
Yeah.
a Turkish-backed mega mosque.
Yeah.
Now, there was an planning application for a mega mosque here in Munich.
yeah.
Can you tell us, and the audience, an American and other audiences actually who suffer with the constant building of new and ever bigger mosques. What did you do about the planning for the mega mosque here in Munich?
Yeah, that was a plan. It's some years ago. It started 2010. There was an imam who wanted to build a huge mosque, as you said, a European center
Massive.
for Islam. Massive. 10,000 square meters. It should cost 30 million euros. And he wanted to get the money from Qatar. Yeah.
So again, Saudi money coming into the heart of Europe. So a
Yeah.
mosque that would be a Qatari mosque.
Yeah.
It would own the land and the building.
Yeah, and Qatar is supporting Islamic terror. Yeah, they are very dangerous. And we started to collect signatures against it, and we collected 67,000 signatures. It would have been enough 30,000, but we collected the double amount because we collected 3 years. It was a lot of work, 300 public rallies. So it was, a big deal. And but then Munich City said, "Oh, it's against religious freedom and blah blah blah," and they stopped it.
That stopped your protest.
Yeah.
There was also an element to this, wasn't there, where they talked about having a referendum on the mega mosque here.
Yeah.
They talked about having a referendum to allow the people to say whether they wanted the mega mosque or not.
Yeah.
Now that referendum
Yeah.
got quashed.
Yeah, yeah.
They said no,
Yeah.
we're not going to ask the people because
Because a lot of money is coming from the Arabian countries here. You know, a lot of rich Arabian people come to Munich. They are shopping. They are going to the medical centers. Yeah. So I think it's every year 50 till 100 million euros coming to the city. Second, they don't want to have the image, oh, Munich is against Islam.
no, and they don't want to open it up to people because when they opened it up in a referendum to another town or city further up the road, the people voted no.
Yeah.
So funnily enough, they said no, you can't have a referendum on it because really the people will probably vote against it.
That's
the truth of Germany.
Yeah, that's the point. You know, they know here in Munich that a lot of people have some problems with Islam. They made a study on the University of Munich, and there it came out about 70% of the people are not feeling comfortable with Islam. So they feared the referendum would be against
So
this
better
Muslim.
not ask the people
Better not
because the
ask.
people will say the wrong thing. And
Better
that's
not
very
ask.
much the feeling that I get in Germany is don't ask the people too much because
Yeah.
don't let them talk too much because they'll say the wrong
Yeah.
thing.
And the next thing is all the parties in Munich look at the growing number of Muslim voters. We have 120,000 rising up, and all of them, all the parties make good policy for Islam. Yeah, Islam, peaceful, and they want to get the voters. So they wanted no referendum, but we have seen in Kaufbeuren, it was some weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
close to Munich.
They had a referendum
They had a referendum
on the mega mosque,
on the mega mosque.
and the answer was
No,
no.
60% against. And we made 2 rallies in Kaufbeuren, and it was so interesting. We had a lot of left counter demonstrators. We had shouting and
Oh, they
blah,
love
blah, blah.
that.
Yeah.
Masks.
Yeah. And you know, they made a lot of quarrel. And not many people were supporting us. And we thought, oh, maybe...
Outwardly. Not many people outwardly were supporting
Yeah.
you.
Not many people came to
Yes.
us and stood at
No.
our side or
No.
made clapping. But
When the election came,
when the election, you know, when nobody can see, they made the right cross on the right
I
side.
know, and
So,
this is the power.
yeah, the
And-
silent
I
majority.
know,
The
I
silent-
know,
yeah.
and this is the hope, isn't it? If we're thinking of Americans, you know,
Yeah.
my advice to Americans is always, do not let yourself fall as we have fallen in Britain. Do not become the UK.
Yeah.
But my hope is this feeling, this sense that when they're not under spotlight, when they're not on a camera, when they can go into thing and write it quietly, the referendum on a megamosque says, no,
Yeah.
we don't want it.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
I know.
So we are very optimistic. And
And when you translate that, sorry to interrupt, when you translate that to polling for the elections in just a few days' time, what's your sense of what will happen? Clearly the CSU are going to take a knock because
Yeah.
they've fallen out of favour.
That's definitely. You know, in the last election they had 47%.
Yes.
5 years ago. Now they are at 33.
33, 35.
around. Yeah, and the AfD is around 10 till 14. So we hope it will be more.
When
because-
people have this private,
Yeah.
when they're not allowed, when they don't have to say it in public or have their friends be disapproving, the same in our cities.
Yeah.
That people are frightened of their friends
Yeah,
these
yeah.
days.
That's-
What's going on with the Green Party? So the Green Party doing brilliantly well. They're getting 18% probably. Is it just because the people don't know what to vote, so the Greens are kind of a safe, nice thing to do? Is it a sort of German thing? I mean that politely.
Yeah, you know, it's a phenomenon. Many people couldn't believe how so many, 18% in the moment, would vote the Green Party. The Green Party wants open borders. Yeah,
More migration. Let them in.
come in.
Hearts not hunted.
Oh, it's so crazy. But you know, this is the part of the public, of the people, which are still sleeping. Yeah, they have the
They
left.
won't wake up.
They don't wake up. They're living in their left ideology. They're living in safe part of the cities, and they think, oh, the Greens, they are good ones, good
Yes,
humans.
so
yeah.
it's that little private little centre, live in the wealthy
Yeah.
parts. They've got nice lives,
Yeah.
nice schools for their
Yeah.
kids. They've got access to healthcare.
Yeah.
So let people come in. Let's be the nice guys. Let's talk about bees and the climate.
Yeah, they are on a moral higher level. You know, if you say, oh, let them all come in, we help them, all men are equal, you are a wonderful
I know,
guy.
it drives
Yeah?
me crazy. You know, when I see people on the moral high ground, my view
Yeah.
is always, when I look up, I can
Yeah.
see that you're wearing no knickers.
Yes.
Like, so you're not that
That's
great.
a good answer. That's
yeah.
a good answer. Yeah. And we have even in the CSU, we have people who vote now for the Green
Greens,
Party.
yes.
Yeah, because they are good humans as well.
And they don't want to be disapproved of by
Yeah.
voting for the AFD, even
Yeah.
though they might want to stop migration. So they'll say they vote Green, and they'll vote Green because it'll make them feel better.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And-
a lack of courage.
Yeah, lack of courage. And we have a second huge problem is the education at school. There is now a survey among people under 18. Horror. The Green Party with the CSU on the same level, 23%.
Equally popular.
Equally popular, yeah. AFD 8%. So you can see that the young people are indoctrinated by left-orientated teachers. Yeah, and the AFD made now an answer. They said every pupil in school who has a teacher who's talking against AFD, they have to be neutral.
Yes,
Can-
you should ring a hotline,
A
isn't
hotline,
it? I
you
heard
can-
it on the news last night, even in my
yeah,
German.
Yeah, hotline, and you can set it in the internet.
That your
yeah.
teacher is showing a clear bias towards the left.
Yeah.
And American audiences, Canadians, British mums and dads will totally empathise with what you're saying. We've met Brits that are pulling their children out of school because
Yeah.
of the bias
Yeah.
in schools,
Yeah.
because teachers are left-wing crazies.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, one last thing I want to ask you about that you've been causing trouble. Tell me about the Muslims praying in the street. I believe that you went in and got amongst them a little bit with
Yeah.
your camera.
That was at the end of a public rally we made in Munich at the Stachus.
A state house.
A good place, a very known place, and there are a lot of Muslims because there's a McDonald's, and there are a lot of Muslims eat there because they get their chicken and everything. And there were a lot of Muslims who were shouting against our information about Islam. Some Muslims shouted, "We will kill you," blah blah blah. Some spitted at me, and after the rally was finished, they made a public
Prayer.
Yeah, 20 of
On
them
the street, in a public
on the
space.
street, directly on the Stachus, on the big place here in Munich.
Which is against the law, surely.
Against the law. They have to announce it. You know, this is a
public street.
Public street, and a collection of people doing something together must be announced. But you know, the police, you know, they want to
They stand
pray.
back.
yeah.
We have the
Oh,
same in Hyde
Muslims,
Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let them
Let them be.
Let them be.
New
yeah.
rules for them.
And I filmed it because I wanted to document what's going on. And the video is crashing, you know.
It's gone crazy. How can people watch your video? Where would they go to see it?
They can see it on YouTube.
Tell me where.
Yeah, I have two channels on YouTube, and this video is on my personal name, Michael Stürzenberger.
Michael Stürzenberger. We'll get the link.
And the name is Moslems beten am Stachus. Muslims are praying
Praying
on
in the
Stachus.
street.
I think 200 or 300,000 people have seen it until now, and I heard that people who are not in the critical scene in Germany, they saw the video and they sent it to friends.
Yes.
And are now upset. They are not Islam critic, but they said they are praying.
Praying in the street?
In the street, public praying. What's going
That
on there?
can't happen.
Yeah? So many people are waking up now.
Yes.
They see, you know, and this was not a praying. This was a demonstration
Protest.
of power.
Yes.
Protest. Yeah, we are here.
We're gonna pray.
And they after praying, Allahu Akbar, Allah, you can.
On
if
your
you
video.
See it, if you see it,
We will make sure people see it.
You can get fear, you know. Allahu Akbar,
And this is in the
and they came
streets
to me
of Munich.
Street
Here,
of Munich,
here,
street of Munich,
here,
public
in this
place.
place.
And they came to me, go away here. A Muslim from Afghanistan, you know, he is here as a refugee. We are, you know,
You're giving him a home.
we're giving him
You're
home,
paying for him.
money, taking care, and he, go away here. You know, like as he would be here now, the controller of everything. Muslims feel that they are
The
a
power
controller.
is- the
and
power
we are
is
the
with them.
slaves. We are the slaves, according to their ideology. Yeah, they are the masters. We are the slaves. Yeah, and we shouldn't criticize Islam, otherwise, head off.
Yes.
That's the ideology.
No, I
That's-
understand. I've been the target of an assassination attempt, so I
Really?
understand with you. Yeah, I was on the. I was. My head was going to be used as a gift, a wedding present from one jihadi to another.
Really?
So yeah, so we share some similarities.
So
but,
it was a video, or how-
no, she's in prison now, and her partner is in prison. But
Good.
they plotted to have my head chopped off. Anyway, moving
that's
along.
Islam.
I love
Cutting
your
off heads,
yeah.
Quran, Surah 47, verse 3. You can read it.
I
Cut
love
off.
I love your enthusiasm. I love your passion for this. I love your positivity for this, and I love the fact that you are actually saying, "Look, we welcome everybody that can be one of us, that wants to join us, that doesn't want to harm us."
Yeah.
But that you are pointing out and waking people up. I love
Yeah.
that your mission is
Thank
to
you.
wake people up. I
Yeah.
think it's so important. And if you
course.
have one message now, if you think about the Americans that will be watching, our Canadian audiences, the South Africans, Australians, what's your message to them from Germany? They've watched you guys receive 1 million migrants in 2015. They see you under Merkel. Not that you're under Merkel. I wouldn't wish that on you or any man. What's your message to America, to the countries that aren't yet where we are in terms of the takeover that's happening? What do you say to people in other countries?
Yeah, I can say, friends, we are a big family. Yeah, we are more and more people waking up in the world, and we have all right on our side. We have the facts. We have the truth. Go on. Yeah, inform people. Yeah, connect everybody. Yeah, and we are a worldwide community against a fascist ideology. We want to set free all the countries, the people in Iran. It was 40 years ago a free country. Yeah, it was, women could walk around
Freely.
like we. Yeah, it was free. And then came Islam and other countries. We have 57 countries in the world, and Islamic countries. They were conquered by Islam with war and terror. And we want to set them free. We want to set the people free. We have 1.4 billion Muslims in the world, and they could live free if Islam either would be away, or Islam would say, okay, we are from now on only a religion. We pray to a God. We want to come to paradise, but no violence, no killing, no woman oppression, no racism against unbelievers. Yeah, we are on a historic movement. Yeah, to fight against a fascist ideology, and we will have success, of course.
And you think there's hope is the message.
Of
that
course,
you
of
feel
course,
the hope.
Of course, and everybody can put a little bit to this big
Awakening,
work.
the
Yeah.
awakening.
Sending links of videos to friends, yeah, writing comments on articles in the internet, yeah, talking with friends, colleagues, yeah. We can do so many things. Even a little work everybody can contribute is important. So everybody of us will be part of a really big movement, and we will have success. Definitely.
I love
What
you.
else? What else?
I love your
What else?
enthusiasm.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring to meet someone like you, Michael Stürzenberger.
You
I
know-
really appreciate it.
You know, it started, I don't know if your waking up was started. My started at 9/11. Before, Islam didn't bother me. But when I saw the 4 airplanes killing 3,000 Americans, I was reading the Quran, and I knew from that moment on, it was November 2001. That's the problem. That's the problem. The most dangerous book in the world. And you know, it's now 17 years ago. We had a lot of work since that, but yeah, we are still
can feel
working on it. But we are coming more and more to the point that more and more people are waking up.
And your view on when you will give up, when you will stop, when will you stop your fight?
When the aim is reached, yeah, when we have succeeded. And I'm sure the next 5 years will be very interesting. I think in 5 years we have the problem in Europe under control, because there's now a new strategy. Political parties talk about political Islam. And this is the way to talk about the problem and not to talk about religion, not to talk about, oh, we have freedom of religion. No, there's a political part. Political Islam wants to have the power, wants to make the rules, and claims for violence and for killing. And this must be
Gone.
Must be gone. So
Let's get rid of all us.
that's a point. And we have huge parties in Europe. FPÖ in Austria. Strache, I love him.
You love him?
I love him. I was together with him 2010 in Jerusalem. He is supporting Israel.
Yes.
Yeah? And I was talking to him, it's 8 years ago, about Islam. He was not so much informed.
But he is now.
Now he is.
And the
he's fighting.
Israelis are with us.
He said, political Islam must be forbidden. He is on the right way. Yeah, we have
Italy, Salvini.
Salvini, wow, God praise him. Yeah, and we have Sweden Democrats. We have Denmark is waking up. We have in France we have Marie Le Pen. We have
Hope.
Eastern Europe.
Yeah, Poland and Hungary.
Standing
by our
Viktor
side.
Orban. They know about Islam. They lived hundreds of years under Islamic pressure. They know what's going on. So many people are waking up more and more, and we will.
America is waking up too, which is a great thing.
Donald Trump, they blame him for what? He is making politics for the people, and he is warning. What are you doing in Germany? Angela Merkel is crazy.
Yeah.
Let millions of people coming in, Muslims. He says
through Bavaria. They came through here.
Through Bavaria. I was at the train station, Katie. I was at the train station. There were 10,000 people a weekend. I was there as a reporter filming. The left came. Police said, "Oh, sorry, you're causing trouble. Please leave the place."
It's incredible, isn't it? 10,000 people a week through here. That's what you faced. You've seen it firsthand. This is very real for you.
But the point is now, the police is making de-escalation. So if one journalist is causing the trouble of left
protesters, you're the one that's silenced.
I
see
have
that.
to go away.
I see that.
It's
the silencing of Germany. I think
police should say to the left aggressive, "Hey,
you go.
Yeah, stay civilized and not shouting, and let the reporter do his work."
So let me ask you one last question, then we must finish. But on the election day, what sort of results will we see? Will we see Merkel's sister party fatally wounded? Will we see a surprising result for the AfD? And will we see the Greens hit 18%?
Yeah, I think the Greens will have this 18%. I think AfD will have 15% plus.
Yeah.
I am sure.
And Merkel will be fatally wounded.
CSU 33, I think it's correct, maybe less. And it will be a problem for Merkel. And we have the next elections 2 weeks later in Hessen, another part of Germany. There will be a similar thing. So Angela Merkel is,
back on the ropes. With her back on the ropes.
Yeah, and we have in December have a party. The CDU is making a party congress, and there will be
Merkel's party,
election, and I think it will be a next surprise then. Yeah, so
we'll have Merkel down on the floor for that, counting to 10.
But I have to tell you, Angela Merkel is the best for the AfD. As long as she is doing this wrong politics, more and more people get upset and will vote for the AfD. Sometimes it has to get worse
before it can get better.
Before it can be better. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the hard work you do on behalf of many of us good fighters fighting for people to wake up. We really thank you, and I really love what you're doing. I'm a big fan. Thank you very much indeed.
I thank you for the interview. I thank you for your work. You're making a very good job in England. Yeah, and we are a big family working together.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to see it. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm here with Michael Stürzenberger, who's one of my heroes. He's fighting the good fight here in Bavaria. To catch up with all of our reporting and help contribute, if you can, to support our journalism, go to rebelbavaria.com.